All right. So we went over the four main types of reconnaissance you're going to want to do. Start getting into our patrolling. Whether this is mounted or on foot, right? There are general principles you should follow, right? In this reconnoitering or reconnaissance role for these patrols, you're going to want a minimum footprint. So, largest group of guys I would go out with is 5. That keeps you low on keeps you low on caloric burn, right? Not burning a fuck ton of calories, having 12, 13, 14 dudes hike 6, 7 miles with 60-pound packs just to stare at an intersection or to look at a specific part of the city, right? It also minimizes your signature, right? The reality is, at least in America, we have the ability to buy thermals, night vision devices, drones with thermals, drones that can drop grenades, shit like that, right? There is a lot that just the general person, the average citizen in America has access to that will really hem you up fast if you don't know how to counteract them. And even if you do know how to counteract them, part of the game is luck, right? You can do everything right and still die. You can do everything right and still fail, right? That's reality of it. Some benefits to these patrols, right? Say we're established at your house, right? Say you have a plot of land, 3 acres, and shit hit the fan last month. Everything's shut down. People are running low on supplies. Power's been out. Water's been out, right? People are going crazy. Whatever happens. You expected this. You've stocked up. So you're chilling. You're chilling at your house. At what point do you start walking just the boundaries of your land? You know what I mean? You could be in rural buttfuck nowhere. The likelihood of somebody being on your land is maybe not drastically higher, but considerably higher now that they're going to be out scavenging for things. And if they come across a shack, a house, a cabin, and they see you have a generator, or they see you have like barrels collecting rainwater, right? In their head, holy fuck, I've been without water and without food for the past 3-4 days. I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to take some of that. Whether that's in cordial means and they ask you for assistance, or now you're looking at raiding parties. These are genuine considerations you have to take into account. At what point do you determine, hey, I need to start just walking my boundaries of my land, make sure my fence isn't cut, make sure there's no trails of people entering and exiting your land? And if there are trails, where are they going? How are they entering, right? Take note of these things. Maybe we let them think that we don't know, right? And now we have, going back to it, now we have a target. You can start doing target reconnaissance. Or maybe, okay, cool, these dudes have entered this part of my land for the past 3 nights in a row. Cool, we'll establish this point as EP1, entry point 1, right? Likely, they have other ways to get in and out of your land. Start doing some light zone reconnaissance, right? Look out your windows, do your patrols during the day, and you're more likely to catch some extra EPs onto your land, right? Just some things about like patrols is you get that perimeter defense is really what it is. Same with the situational awareness of your AO. It's much easier to know what's going on in the outside world, what the state of the human mind, the community mind is, when it comes to you actually going out and engaging with the community. That doesn't mean you engage with them physically or you go out and you talk to people, but you just walk around, right? If it permits, like you just walk around. Look at how people are standing, right? We'll talk about it later in different videos, but what is it? Kinesics, proxemics, and proxemics and kinesics, right? That's like the body language, the space of people next to others, right? These are all cues that mentally you already take note of on a daily basis. I'm like this, I'm closed off, I'm probably angry, right? You take it into account already. Don't discredit that in your head just because it's a time of emergency. Get some good essay on your area and you'll be set. Patrol wise, I have a red exclamation point here. This is not ideal. This is emergency situation, a stalling force. If you and your group of dudes need to leave, or you realize there's a raiding party of 10 plus people and you and your 4 or 5 man team are fucked if you get decisively engaged by them, because that's what they are. They're people who have not prepped but have made it their personality in today's time, where it's like calling other dudes loot drops and shit, right? Are they wrong? I don't know. Are they right? I don't know. That's up to them to decide. There's so much luck involved with that. You losing 1 or 2 dudes could spell disaster for your group's survival, right? Whereas groups like that, it would not be uncommon for every 1 or 2 dudes that they're able to loot, whether that means they get rid of those people or just like mug them, it would not be uncommon for every 1 to 2 that they loot to lose probably 4 or 5, maybe 6, you know. Just some things to take into account. I fucking hate printers, bro. Scares the shit out of me. Stalling is not ideal, but a 2-man force can easily stall 30 dudes if they know what they're doing. It comes down to that. If you know what you're doing, the world is yours. Now, are you likely to survive? No. Start looking at like the IRA and how they implemented their snipers to really fuck with the minds of the Brits, and you'll see some methods that would be applicable in this stalling, but it is not ideal, and this is how you actually are more likely to get yourself killed. The more you move, the more risky it is. Going back to, anyone can have thermals, anyone can have nods, anyone can just have eyeballs, right? Majority of people are not blind. Majority of people have glasses, so their vision is fixed, right? They have fixed 20/20 so long as their glasses still work and aren't like shattered to bits. They have 20/20. The likelihood of everyone else, I don't have glasses, I don't have contacts, I doubt I have perfect 20/20 vision. I doubt it, right? That's just the matter of fact, as well as the more you move, the more spores you leave, right? Going back to our counter tracking video, the more spores you leave, the easier it is for people to find you. No matter how much you utilize counter tracking techniques, you can never get rid of them all. You can never get rid of them all, right? And the more you move, the more obvious your routes become. The easier it is for them to hone in from an area to a zone to eventually one main route to eventually a target area where now they're building a fucking target package on you, and eventually it's gonna spell disaster. For long range patrols, right? In this reconnaissance world, everything goes to gathering information, sharing that information with who needs to know, and in a timely manner, right? The longer these patrols are, the more beneficial it is to have that HQ element or a QRF element push out a little bit behind you and almost do like a bounding maneuver with that QRF element. Why? Because you're a team of 4 dudes, 4 or 5 dudes. If you get decisively engaged, you're breaking contact. If you do not have the vicinities to break contact, you're hunkering down and you're waiting for that QRF to get to you. If that QRF cannot get to you, and even if they do get to you, the likelihood of you surviving a decisive engagement by even like a group of 3 or 4 dudes, if they have better equipment, if they're better trained than you, or maybe they're just luckier than you are, right? You're done. Not only is the mission over, you've now become likely a casualty. The more gunfights you stay out of, the longer you live. It's simple math, right? Scientifically proven, in fact. I didn't know if you guys knew that. Utilize a QRF. Does it take some planning to do? Sure. Is it a little weird to be like, oh yeah, I have a QRF element for my 4 guys that are only about 5 miles away from like our patrol base, or 5 miles away from our house that we're all staying in? Yeah, maybe it's a little weird, but God forbid something happens, we're in the world of prepare for a worst case scenario. You get 1, 2 dudes shot, 1 dude getting shot, 1 dude rolling his ankle in a scenario like this where they have to do route reconnaissance, or they're moving 6+ miles to get eyes on a target just to build a data package on it. Not even a target package, just a data package. Build a pattern of life on it, right? Someone rolls their ankle, that could be the end of that mission. It could. Sucks. But that will slow you down, and everything needs to be done in a timely manner, even if the precedence is mission, time still comes into account.